Aaron is here for Global Sports Update. Aaron, great to have you.
Yes, very good morning to you, Rufai. Good morning to you, Doctor. And starting off today, this news actually broke the hearts of several Brits as they were expected to see Mo Farah, or Sir Mo Farah, actually go out for the last time. 39-year-old Mo Farah was expected to run the London Marathon, the first since 2019 for him. And although he was a pacemaker in 2020, but it was it would have been the race before his retirement. But right now he's deferred that to April of 2023. And at the moment he says that he tried everything humanly possible to be fit for the race, but a recurring hip injury has actually meant that he will not participate in Sunday's London Marathon. It's unfortunate for him, although people will say that he is a four-time Olympic champion. But when it comes to the marathons, he's found it very difficult to actually squeeze into it, understanding that, save the Chicago Marathon, which he actually won some years ago, he's not really had joy running marathons, whether it be the Berlin Marathon or the Boston Marathon. So at the moment, it's unfortunate that people will not be seeing this man that actually attracts quite a lot of fanfare when it comes to long distance races, actually grace the London Marathon. Now, away from that, let's talk about the unification bout that should happen, but likely not to happen again. We spoke about the fact that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury is now in the wind. Alexander Usyk used the opportunity to come back into reckoning to say, let's make this fight happen. Let's unify all heavyweight belts together. But Tyson Fury is asking for an arm and a leg. 500 million pounds, he says, is what he wants if he's to get into the ring with Alexander Usyk. And Usyk has labeled him a lunatic for demanding so much. Like, come on, guy, you're almost leaving me with nothing if you say you want 500 million to stay in that particular fight. But he, like we've said, he's the beautiful bride. He's calling the shots, and he will determine what is suitable for him and what is enough for him to get back into the ring. At the moment, he's not under any pressure to go into the ring because he knows that for any unification to happen, someone would have to go through Tyson Fury. So at the moment, he's still holding off on that particular figure, 500 million pounds.
Wow.
Okay. Now, let's move on to the World Cup. As we build up, kit maker Hummel, they actually kit the Danish national team, and they decided to print out a toned-down jersey. Now, they are calling this one the color of mourning, this particular black jersey, which is the third. They are saying that they are trying to decry all that has happened, the human rights records that has plagued Qatar leading up to the World Cup. They're trying to highlight that in their own little way and stage some sort of protest against all that has happened, the migrant workers that have been badly treated and those that have died trying to build stadiums for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. It's rather unfortunate that this is happening very close to the World Cup. A lot of people have been expecting all this clamor to come years before the World Cup, because for the last 12 years, people have always, there have been talks about what was happening in Qatar, and a lot of people, especially Europeans, paid deaf ears to this. But we are seeing them come out little by little. Now let's turn our attention to some good times and the windfall that is coming to athletes, especially those that train and do their business in Bayelsa State. Governor Duyediri has decided once again to reward Bayelsa Queens and several athletes with cash prizes. And it gladdens my heart because there are few states that support sports at the moment. Bayelsa is one of them. Delta State is another. Edo State is another. There may be River State in that particular order. And I must say kudos to them because Doctor, you would remember this. During the Jonathan era, there was always a windfall of cash. If you won any tournament, you will smile home to the bank. And it's the hope that athletes that do not get sponsorship deals after hitting limelight, get rewarded for all their efforts. So seeing this happen is a big, big plus to the athletes. For the likes of Blessing Oburudu, who won gold at the Commonwealth Games, they go home with like 2.5. Anyone that won silver goes home with 1.5, and bronze attracts ₦1 million. And finally, talking about the NFF elections, there's been a lot of up and down. There's been a lot of heat blowing on, and the Minister of Youth and Sports has advised the Nigeria Football Federation to respect the court order that is actually hanging over the Nigeria Football Federation at the moment. But people have called the minister have questioned the motives of the ministry and the minister, because you remember we brought the news here whereby the minister had insisted that the elections be held as soon as possible. Now the Nigeria Football Federation have bent over to ensure that that happened, and now, now the ministry is saying that please respect the court order, but some are saying that they are not paying any mind to what is actually happening, because they look at basketball, and I must actually point this out. The Women's Basketball World Cup is going on as we speak in Spain. Mali, that replaced the D-Tigers, lost all their 5 matches. Scandalously in some, against Australia, against Serbia, against France, to mention but a few. And it's unfortunate that because of certain kind of interference, we are where we are in basketball. And a lot of people are saying, by the minister, of course, a lot of people are saying that please, as much as possible, you can perform your oversight function, but not impact the elections directly, so as not to bring football to a standstill. And as we speak from reliable sources, the election will go on tomorrow.
Well, that would be illegal. Because you'll recall that on September 15,
yes,
the Court of Justice, i.e. Equal,
yes,
gave an order that all stakeholders, all parties involved in the Nigerian Football Federation Executive Committee election, scheduled for tomorrow in Benin, Edo State, should maintain the status quo ante.
Yes.
What that means simply is that that election cannot hold until or unless the order of court is vacated.
True.
Or as the judge pointed out on September 15, until a final order is given. That final order has not been given. The matter has not been challenged at a court of higher jurisdiction, right?
Yes.
So the state of the law is that, look, you maintain the status quo. And the statement by the permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports simply says, look, since this order exists and it's not been vacated, in order to avoid a contempt of court, the election must not hold. If they go ahead and that court order has not been vacated, in any way, there is no superior order, since September 15th, then it will be pointless holding that election, because what someone can just do is just go to court and ask that whatever process, that may have occurred will be null and void. Okay, so the Ministry of Youth and Sports saying that the rule of law must be obeyed is perfectly in order.
True.
In my view. The second point, you raised the point about USIC and Fury. Okay, the other thing, that I thought is out there is the Battle of Britain match, originally scheduled for December 3rd, which Tyson Fury said he had cancelled, by 5 p.m. deadline on Monday. But we're told that the two promoters, Fury's promoter and also Eddie Hearn for
yes.
Joshua, that they're saying that they're still talking, and that, that Battle of Britain may still take place as scheduled. Number 3 issue, Pesero has been blaming poor officiating for the Super Eagles' poor performance in Iran in their international friendly with Algeria.
Yes,
now, he's not alone. Moses Simon is also talking about poor officiating. He said a goal was denied and the penalty that was awarded against the Super Eagles was wrong. They're now looking forward to Portugal. But as I pointed out yesterday, under Pesero, we seem to be losing one match after the other. Is that an indication that he will be able to handle the team very well. Despite the fact that he's still insisting that the players played to instructions. His own words.
Doctor.
His own words.
Yeah.
His own words. Finally.
Okay.
Let me finish quickly with Mo Farah.
Yeah.
Well, all good things come to an end. 4-time Olympic champion.
Yes.
You say he's going to run next year in 2023, but he hasn't been really, running marathons since 2019, 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. So by next year he will be 40. I think the organizers must be a bit disappointed because they thought they could pitch him against Bekele from Ethiopia, who will be running, by the way, on Sunday. But he has had quite a distinguished career. To have to be a 4-time Olympic champion, is no joke. Even if his career ends at this point, he has made his mark, in my view.
And he's been knighted also. So now, Doctor, quickly, it's not been all doom and gloom for Jose Pizarro. In the matters that matter the most, in the African Nations Cup qualifier, against Sierra Leone, he won 2-0. Against Sao Tome and Principe, he actually won 10-0. So, 2-1, I beg pardon, against Sierra Leone, and 10-0 against Sao Tome and Principe. And that particular game...
Using Sao Tome and Principe as benchmark.
No, I'm saying that in the
war,
the Nations Cup qualifiers, in the matches that do actually count in terms of qualification for a major tournament.
Okay.
He has actually done, but I must actually put this into context. Before, that particular game, the officiating was very dodgy. Ademola Lookman's goal should have stood, but the officials decided to rule it out for an offside. The penalty, we've seen it given, we've seen it not given.
Okay.
That is still subjective. But that particular goal by Ademola Lookman should have stood. Okay. And it would have made a whole lot of difference if Nigeria had gone 2-0 up in that particular game.
All right.